Won't even look at me. This is Bubby trying to get a sun nap. Loves laying in the sun. Our hair gets so hot. Oh, open his eyes. He's listening to country music jam that I copied, recorded. Bubby. The white hairs coming out of his ear. Oh, kitty. So tiring. See, this is the life if you're a cat. It's up on a kind of on some box, so it could be a shelf. Oh. No. Hello, this is Mike Tillotson in Manistee.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to First Street Beach. Right now it's about 10 minutes in front of noon. We are planning to get things rolling right around noon. I'll give you some refreshments. To the flag aisle, where all the police officers are. If you are interested in actually assisting in carrying the flag to the pole this afternoon, please head back over to that side of the pavilion and you'll receive instructions on what's about to happen. Thank you.
I'll carry the other flag later.
Yeah.
Secretary Craig. All the members of our community that come out here today to support this cause. But of course, most of all, thanks to all of our servicemen and women who are here today and wherever they are for this symbol of our freedom and for defending those freedoms that we get to enjoy each and every day. I'm honored to be a part of this. I know you guys are all honored to be out here as well. There are refreshments available in the pavilion for anyone that's interested, but before we get the official presentation started, I think you'll all agree it's most appropriate that we start with a prayer here this afternoon. So please join me in welcoming the chaplain of the American Legion, Mr. Jim Matthews. Jim?
Thank you. We pray to our Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ. We are assured, Lord, of your presence with us today. As we gather and ask for your blessings on this occasion and on this community, we raise these flags as a lasting memorial to our military personnel, past and present, and to our POWs and MIAs. They are not forgotten. Lord, we ask that you be with the families of those who have gone to be with you in heaven. Bring them your peace and your comfort, that they may continue on in his days. Thank you, Lord, for making available the abilities and the commitments to those who are responsible for bringing this project to completion. blessings, Lord, we ask upon this flag. Long may they wave. Amen. God bless America. Amen.
And again, welcome. Thank you all for coming out here this afternoon. We'd like to talk a little bit about how this project began. It is incredibly impressive and it makes such a great mark for Manistee Harbor. It started with one woman's vision, a vision of a flag that would not only honor all the vets, but one that could be seen for miles in Lake Michigan and throughout the city of Manistee itself. Linda Link Stoller was joined by her brother, dozens of volunteers to raise the thousands of dollars that were required to meet this goal. That original plan was this 70-foot flagpole with this 15 by 25-foot American flag that we stand before right now. But once they reached that goal, they did not stop there. Linda, her family, and their group of volunteers continued on, and once they met that goal, the Link family donated the funds to purchase 6 additional 20-foot flagpoles, one to represent each branch of the service. They will be heading over to the roundabout shortly to see those flags individually raised for their first times as well. So if we could, let's give a round of applause to not only Linda, the Link family, to all the volunteers and the donors throughout the community that helped to put this together. Thank you very much to you folks for being here and for everyone that was a part of this. Right now I'd like to introduce the commander of the Manistee VFW, Don Vadebunker. Don.
Welcome. It's been a beautiful afternoon, Joey. Going a little bit in reverse order what we planned because of this flag and the wind. We're just going to have to change everything. As pre-comprehensive, the meeting was held at the airport in the second week of June 2015. Signing several other international purchases. Following the discussion, the vision of the regard to the flag located at the first three beach area. Next year, their reply well, today, no matter what you call it, including their families, including contributors, come together September 19, 2015. Facilities throughout the country. Recognizing a veteran who has not returned home. POW, MIA. Please do not touch this flag. View and appreciate its significance. Also, there are empty ammo. Always find need. Hoping and hereby donation would be appreciated. Future maintenance, please remember your flag. Established for this purpose. Great recording. American Legion, 10, American Veterans, Captain War Vets, members of the United Veterans Council, all veterans and or organizations representing veterans appreciate and Woody and Linda's families and their contributors. City of Manistee and Council, all of its supporters, merchants, on the top shot, hopefully I didn't miss anyone, with this wonderful tribute. The city of Manistee is beautiful. Most importantly, the people like it.
Friends of Rolling Thunder and most of the other uniform groups here. You're very proud to be part of it. And thinking about how we wanted to address this, came up with a little bit view of this flag. I'd like to share that. In 1965, I was here. Through some schooling, served till 1973. I was part of the occupation forces of West Berlin. 4 years. West Berlin, if you don't recall, was 110 miles inside East Germany. It's the Cold War. Really interesting time. I lived fairly close to the Berlin Wall. And many times, the night sounds would be pierced by gunfire. As someone in Germany was trying to get into West Berlin. They were running a gauntlet of minefields, attack dogs, barbed wire. Guys were really into trigger finger. Why were they taking this chance? I thought about that often. Taking a chance that was represented by this man. They were willing to come with nothing more than the clothes of their back on that gauntlet to get here. I cannot, and I will not, forget the sight of the bodies in the church. When we returned to this country, we got into a rather confusing political and media-driven firestorm of hatred and prejudice against the Chinese in Europe. This preserved this flag and this flag. The scars of that welcome home remain with us. Today our military members face similar issues of personal. Some cannot, some can just barely. This is where the Michigan Veterans Alliance is coming in. We offer individual aid to veterans. Help them get them off the streets, get them shelter, get them food, get them support. Realistically, the Michigan Veterans Alliance is there to offer the handshake to our comrades in arms, an arm of compassion about the shoulder of our troubled veterans, and just a shoulder to cry on when the demons come to steal their war-weary souls. We are the Michigan Veterans Alliance. We continue to serve. We thank you. And God bless America.
Amen.
Colleen Kenny, my apologies.
On behalf of the City of Manistee, I want to welcome everyone here, especially our veterans, our service personnel, our firefighters, and our police officers. Thank you for coming. Today is really a beautiful day, and I gotta say, thank God for giving us such an appropriate day to be enjoying our flags. The Stars and Stripes not only is our nation's flag, but it represents freedom and democracy, a way of life so many people came here to enjoy. It represents all of us. And later they'll be raising the flags that represent all the branches of our military to honor all those men and women who have fought for our freedoms, who continue to fight, and who will fight. So on behalf of the City of Manistee, I want to thank all those who donated to make this possible, especially the Link family. We appreciate the donation of the flags and the flagpoles. So on behalf of the city, thank you very much.
Before arrived again. I see many police officers and fire department out here. I think this weekend is National Support Your Cop Shop. Let's put it that way. Let's give them a hand too. Prepare for a rifle salute by our honor guard. And then there'll be taps following that. What do you call them? Bagpipe player. So please show your respect. Detail. Present arm. Prepare a fire. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Present arm.
I woke up this morning to pouring rain. I drove to the beach under thick, gray, just ominous storm clouds. I arrived to widespread concerns that it was just too darn windy for this. But you know, now the clouds have parted, the sun shines down, and I don't think you could ask for a better amount of wind for this flag to go up and look beautiful on its very first time raised here at Manistee Harbor. I'm proud to be a part of this. I also want to let you know that if you'd like to join us over at the roundabout, we'll soon be heading over there to raise the other 6 flags for each branch of the service. And I believe also Dial-A-Ride is here. If there's anyone with physical challenges that would have a hard time getting over there, feel free to come up and talk to us. And please don't forget, as far as I know, there's way too many refreshments in the Lions Pavilion. So if you're hungry and you need a little snack, help yourself in there. Thank you so much to everyone that lended a hand for this, and for all of you that came out to support it. Thank you.
Again, thank you, and please join us.
people out of the crowd, various branches. Straw or something. What deal with Army? This is Black Cat in the afternoon sun. His eyes are all tight. This is what Bubby thinks of a warm basket of clean clothes. He thinks they have to be pressed. I'm looking at the full moon here on a Friday night. Tomorrow night we're going to have a blood moon, but just in case I've got overcast skies, I thought I'd come out and do a little moon tonight to get a feel for what's going to be. You notice that the moon will, since I'm looking east, it's going to go up into the camera view. I have this thing set on manual focus infinity. It's a Sony camera, 4 or 5 years old. Use an SD card, and I have the exposure on manual, a little below normal. I'll show you what if I go down a little bit, it gets darker. If I go plus, you can see the big glasses at about, black sunglasses at noon and 2 o'clock, two big round circles. And then there's a nose, and it comes down with a mouth. But then for me it flips back and forth. Now, so you just flipped, which I call Elvis Presley. You have kind of almost looks like Mickey Mouse, but one view is an absolute profile. The man in the moon is looking at 9 o'clock. Then for me, when it flips, he's looking more at the camera. Up at 2 o'clock, right at the very edge, you can see two big craters, and that's a seal, a harp seal. You got to realize that the moon is all really black. But this is just like looking at something like a real jet black car. The sunshine, you can see it. But as light goes down, you can't see it anymore. So we still have a little sunlight, which makes it, if you got a video of the moon, and that's the brilliant way to do it, because the moon, being lit by the sun, can have the same exposure as if you're taking a picture of something outside in a bright sunny day. You don't have to have a half a minute. No. The old ASA F16 roll, which some of you will remember. If your film was 400, you set the camera on about 400, 500, and F16. Click away. 500th of a second at F16. The problem is that you're photographing the moon, not the background. Even though we have a lot of light yet, we can let the moon come up into the picture. You see, it comes up relatively fast. The moon right now, with my little hand extended, covering it with my little finger, it way more than covers the moon. I am somewhat near the Manistee Fire Department videoing this. If I stayed out here long enough, the moon is going to go up into some power lines. I can hear the steam or whatever it is over at Morton Salt. That sound means jobs. You had enough? You notice the moon just keeps slowly coming up. If you come out here and look at the moon for 5 or 10 minutes, you won't see that it's moved. Unless you sit down in your chair and put a object, and the moon is lower in the sky, like a power line, put it to where the moon comes across the power line. Of course, the moon is 246,000 miles. Power line might be 50 feet, but you can see it cross because it leaves a big old shadow. And one of these days, I'm going to go out to Federal Park and look at the jets one of these nights, because you can see them crossing the stars. Now we're starting to get some clouds out here that are showing up pretty good. It must be coming this way. As I move around on the porch, the moon looks like it's moving. For those of you who want to know, I am Mike Tillotson, and with my wife Rebecca, we have moved back to Owasso. I lived here 35 years. There goes the cloud. Moved away for about 10, 9, and now we're back. You can see how the clouds are passing in front. There's clouds all over up there, but you can't see them when they're not being lit up by the moon. Of course, somebody in Lansing would be sitting on a different set of clouds. I took a little pause to let the clouds get out of the way. I'm going to do this tomorrow night, later on in the night. And hopefully we're going to see the moon. Looks like it's red. I've done it before. I know what I'm doing. But tomorrow night I'm going to use a different Sony camera. You're looking real careful. From about 3 o'clock, probably to 9 o'clock, it looks like there's a little teeny red at the very edge of the moon. That would be when the light is passing through the atmosphere. It changes a little color. But tonight it's only going to be just a share, just a thinnest thing. Tomorrow night, if they do it right and if it's clear, we'll be able to see that there's red. And I've done this before, and I realized that photographing the entire lunar eclipse is really long. Like 2 hours. No, I'm sure it's not like 2 hours, it is 2 hours. I'm going to put the moon down the bottom quarter. You can judge for yourself how long it takes. You used to have a camera that would have a running clock. It takes about 10 minutes for the moon to go from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen. But if I came out here at 4 in the morning, it'd be going down. Came out here between 11 and 2 or so, it'd be going left to right. See, the moon is actually going up about a 45-degree angle. That's why it's best if you're going to be videoing the moon. You got to, at this time of day, you have to put the moon in the lower left-hand corner. And it will go up to the upper right of the screen. Almost getting chilly. This event this weekend, the blood moon, has a tremendous importance to the Jews. We had four lunar eclipses, I think, in 2 years, and the date it falls is of great significance. And then when it comes at a certain point, it looks like a blood moon. It is red. If you want to know what it means, you talk to a pastor or a Jewish rabbi. They will tell you how important it is. You need a 1,000mm lens to fill the screen with a typical still camera. In the olden days you would call it a film camera, or now it's a digital. They just don't have the range of a zoom on a digital camera, video camera. Tonight is the Manistee High School homecoming. We were downtown and saw all kinds of young people all dressed up. Kitty? He gets doing it. He's got something in his throat or something. Kitty? It's about 8 o'clock or so. Night. Black cat's been sleeping. I had to move him because he was facing away from the light. Hey. They're around here though, I see him. A lot of people are wondering what's happened to Bubby. Bubby is just taking it easy. He's still doing his cat stuff. Loves being a cat. Not that he had any choice, that God created him as a cat. He's not interested in being a dog. I know that because dogs are too willing to please. Cats are not willing to please. Cats are willing to ignore. Yeah? You're willing to ignore. So he's not real happy with me talking to him. Cat. This is Honey Cat. It's Nate's cat. He's a domestic long hair, whereas Hairball is a domestic short hair. We got to take care of his hairballs. He's got some big knots in his fur. Very long fur. Very warm, very affectionate kitty. Hi, pal. Honey Cat moved from we're dark right now. She's leaving. I got a cat here. Leans up against the wall like this. Always in the same spot at night. Little nightlight here. It's under it. In his opinion, a good day is a day laying up against the wall like this. It's really hot today. Honey Cat laying on a box here by the window. She truly loves sleeping. If cats were to go to heaven, this would be where they'd want to end up. Family that treats them good, feeds them, cleans the litter box, and lets them sleep all day.
Cancer was the last thing.
Good evening. Back home in Manistee. Tonight is full moon. Some places in the world, like over in Europe, it's a lunar eclipse. But not for Michigan, not for anywhere in the United States. I'll just show you a little bit of full moon. Probably till I get bored. It's 10 after 10, right? 9 right now. We already have stars. Of course, actually, we always have stars. You just can't see them in the daytime. However, the American spy planes, well, actually, I can't admit that we have spy planes, but if we did, they can actually see stars in broad daylight. Didn't know that, did you? Can you see the two portraits? One is a man with lots of hair. His nose is right just about dead center, and he's looking at 10 o'clock, and his chin comes down. He's got a little bit of a beard. And the other one, the hair now becomes big sunglasses. The guy's leaning back a little bit. And for me, people who are creative like me can make them, it'll flip back and forth. A lot of people can't see one. Very few people can see two faces. And that's why you have me. I can point that out to you. The moon, as you know, rises in the east, just like the sun, but now it's 12 hours behind. So if you came out here at 10 in the morning, at 9 in the morning, that's where the sun would be. Did you know that? Again, that's why you have here. Come in on it a little bit more. This is a Sony digital camera. The memory is a little memory card about the size of a postage stamp. You get various chips, SD card, anywhere from 2 hours to 25. This camera is older, like I tell you, but it's the one I have with me most of the time. I don't really care for it outdoors because I have trouble with it outdoors. Viewfinder is hard to see in bright sun, whereas the newer camera, it's quite easy to see. Both Sonys. Just going to let this come in. I'm not going to be spending a lot of time on the moon tonight. Everybody's going, yay! Moon not only moves up, but also moves from left to right, so I got to keep adjusting the camera. As it gets higher, say 2 hours from now, it'll be moving from left to right. You'll have reached the apex. That's as high as it goes, apex. There will be a test. Just a little chilly out here tonight. I told you before, if you look at 2 o'clock, let's see, a harp seal, kind of almost laying on the side, the head, 2 big ears and a nose. Most people can't see that either. Again, that's why you have me. I'm always glad to point things out to you that I see in my travels. we got a different car. Used to be my sister-in-law's parents' car. They died. We have it now. Hadn't run in 2 years. Battery's totally shot. I bought a battery at Napa here in town. Hooked it in. Didn't even hook up the cables real tight. Just slipped them on. Becky tried. Vroom! Just started right up. Not a bit of trouble coming home. Didn't even speed. We're gonna let the moon climb up into the picture, then I'm gonna go watch my favorite show, Cops. It's a man show. Okay, that's my opinion. It's a man show. If you try taking a picture with your camera, still camera, the moon is being lit by the bright sun, so the moon is going to be the same exposure as if you're taking something out in the front yard in the middle of the afternoon. And you have to put the camera on manual to get it, because put it on auto, it's going to average the black sky and the bright moon. The moon, as you know from that program, used to be on a big rock. God's creation. Didn't come up from another planet, nothing like that. Just all conjecture. Anything they can do to try to prove there is no God. There is. Listen to me, I will not steer you wrong. Do you see the two faces yet? One is an absolute dead profile of the left side of a man's face, looking at 10 o'clock. And the other one, as soon as it flips for me, and I can't, there it is, it's flipped. Guy's leaning back a little more. The hair now is sunglasses. Of course, God invented the moon way before people came up with sunglasses. Well, I think I've had a good night. Good moon, some good moon stuff tonight. Good night. Hey, look, see this moon to the side. I gotta move the camera a little bit. It's moving all about on a 45-degree angle now. I might come out here later on tonight. Good night. Hello again. It's 2:30 in the morning. It's chilly out here. The moon is a little more than halfway. It's in fog, so I can barely see it. This is as close as it's going to get. This is at the apogee, according to scientists who know. This is the closest the moon is going to get in the year. Well, the harvest moon, because that gives enough light that farmers could keep farming into the night. Of course, way back, they didn't have lights of any kind. You get out there with your horse or your mule. So, I'm not even thinking of myself here. The moon should be going to the right now. One of the things about this part of Manistee is you can always hear Morton's. About half a mile away. When you can hear that sound, it means that people are working, jobs are going on. The presidential debate is really heating up. Name calling and accusations, which is really reaching a fevered pitch. Hillary apparently has some kind of pneumonia, which is she can't give it to somebody else, which is like, what? I was talking to a lady yesterday who had pneumonia many years ago, and she said she was in bed for a week, I think, and finally got up to eat at the table and got sitting there getting ready to eat, and it's like, no, give me back the Davenport. She said that took a week for here even feel at all better. And I've always thought that about pneumonia, that pretty bad stuff. You see the moon is moving a little bit to the right. About 2:30 in the morning. A little chilly out here. I've had enough. How about you? Good night. Well, it's Sunday night. I'm using a monopod. You can see that. The moon from the 12 o'clock to about 3 o'clock is starting to erode. We don't have a full moon anymore, but it's still interesting. Well, good evening. It's November 14. Deer season opens tomorrow. I will not be going. I'm getting to where it's not fun. Get the tripod to settle down. The moon is at its perigee, which is the closest point to the Earth. This is the biggest the moon is going to be in 68 years, I think. With this little Sony camera, I zoomed in. You can see the portrait of the man. He's looking right 9 o'clock. His nose is just about dead center of the moon. And at the same time, there's another man there. It flips back and forth for me because I have that ability to recognize things. We're going to let the moon come up into the picture. You can see it actually moves pretty fast. It doesn't look like it when you're out here looking at the moon, but when you're looking at the moon, you have nothing to, you have no background. The moon is at its perigee, which means it's the closest it's going to be and the brightest it's going to be in our lifetimes. If you were 80 years old, you might have been looking at it when you were 12 years old. It would have been just as big, but you wouldn't have known. See, at 2 o'clock, there's what I call a harp seal. He's kind of laying on his side, big, huge eyes and big nose. Then there's the guy with sunglasses. He's laying back, actually using the same craters and things as the other guy. There really is no man in the moon, it just looks like it. The second man is leaning back. He's got big, huge sunglasses. But on the other man, which flips back and forth with me pretty fast, is hair. Smells like somebody is burning leaves, which I think is actually illegal in town. This camera is probably $300 when it was new. Really can do the job though, I tell you. Widen it out just a hair. Stop it. With this particular digital video camera, I can take individual shots, which I just did. Got this camera set on infinity. There's a big end loader moving over at Morton's, I think. You hear that steam venting 24 hours a day. You probably realize by now, if you watch my stuff, I really enjoy videoing the moon. I was talking to a lady today. She was talking about how bright the moon was last night. She said, man, I would say it's almost like daylight. No. The sun is 1,000,000 times as bright as the moon. With a full moon. You're sitting out here in the daytime versus at night. No. You can't even photograph the sun straight on, but you can photograph the moon. But let's say if you're out in a field, the old ASA f/16 rule, you'd set your shutter at the ASA of the film 400 and the shutter at, ASA, yeah, and the aperture at 16 for a picture of, let's say, a house. And if you wanted to photograph that house under the full moon, it would be Trying to think, I figured it out manually once. It's about 5 minutes at f2. You're working out as 1 million. You have to have 1 million times the exposure. Now right now the guy has a big profile that's very visible. Good evening. It's Wednesday. November 16th. The moon is starting to wane. It's getting smaller. It's still quite interesting. Just because it's not full doesn't mean I can't do it. Last night I never saw the moon at all. Pretty foggy. This camera I can actually come in a little tighter than with the other one. But if you look on the 3 o'clock here, you can see all the craters and things pretty good. And this view too, the direct portrait of the man in the moon, the side view, the left side of the man. His nose is dead center, and his eyes are up a little bit, the mouth. Then you come on down, you can see his chin has got a big beard. You can do this at home, you know, if you know what you're doing. You go into the menu, focus your camera on infinity. That's a little figure 8 laying down. And you adjust the exposure. You got to set that too. It's about in the middle. You can see how that goes. Now I'm going to stop and take a couple stills and then come back. Do that thing. I'm letting the moon come up into the picture. The moon actually moves pretty fast. You know, here I got to get it pretty quick because the moon is coming up to a wire. I'm about 30 degrees. If I stayed with it, it's going to go behind a wire, which that's okay, but I don't feel like staying out here and doing very much. The moon is also going to the south, or in this case that would be to our right. But you can see definitely see the man on the moon as the moon comes up. We have some fog in the west. Moonlight, city lights. I can still see some stars. As you can see, the moon is moving up to the right. Try it again. You can just watch the moon come up. I'm actually out in my front yard, porch lights on. I don't need it dark because I'm not photographing anything but the moon. The moon is so bright that you can't overcome it. Got my Carhartt vest on. I have my Carhartt coat. The hood. It doesn't seem like it's that cold, but when you get out here and stand around, it gets cold real quick. It's probably the big reason why I didn't go deer hunting this year. I don't appreciate the cold like I used to. Oh, I see a star now. Under the moon. I found out where to find the shooting stars. It'll be just above the moon. But I won't see them until I don't know if it's at 2 o'clock on the internet. I won't ever see them with my camera. I just don't have a strong enough camera. Not a video. Still, I may be able to get out here. See how the moon is going up and right. I was talking to a friend from up north about deer hunting. He doesn't hunt, and he said that the buck pole in Manzalona had enormous bucks on it. I used to go there. They'd have opening day by evening. They have $20, $30 on it. Mostly enormous ones. 8 points, 10 points. And there goes the moon. It's going to leave us. And I'm going to leave you. I just made the image a little darker. We should do that by you move that little exposure thing to the negative. I'm going to watch the moon come up this day. I think it's going to be my last hurrah tonight. The wire, excuse me, is right there. We got Honeycat taking a break in her busy schedule so she can grow some more fur. That's what cats do when they sleep. Bubby is also sleeping. Hey, Bubby. Bubby. He doesn't even care about global warming. As long as his house is warm, that's all he cares about. I have a fur bag cat, a Honeycat. She's arguably the laziest cat in this house. While I'm downtown at the big Christmas tree, they're cutting off the branches. Except he's leaving enough stubs so he can step on them. Oh, drop us off.
Mr. Tillotson.
Hey!
Here.
What are you guys destroying that tree for?
What's that?
Some people like that tree.
Oh, we did too.
What's going on?
It happens to be. Hey, there's a dozen robins over there.
You're kidding. Whereabouts?
They're running around.
Well, better go and try to find them.
When we came here, I said to him we ought to call the News Advocate because we thought we were seeing things. They were all in that berry bush right there, that tree.
Yeah?
And they came out of those pines, and there's still some of them flying around. But there was a dozen big robins there.
Well, doggone, I go try to find them then.
Yeah, there was 3 or 4 of them right in the street. There was half a dozen on that one.
Jeez.
I just saw 2 of them fly over there. They're closer into that cedar trees now.
They didn't realize the whole inside was all dead.
Was it?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. There's all kinds of dead ones that one just cut off the bottom. We got these 2 out of the condos on it. Like,
Oh, okay, sure. Oh, now we know what they're going to do. Let me tell you, you won't see this stuff on network TV. Well, it kind of smells like a blue spruce is being cut up down here. Shut her down. They're going to leave the chopper here, put that jack down so it'll be ready when they come back. Now they're going to go and dump it somewhere. Okay, oh, that feels good. A little heat. I don't see these robins. They said there's a whole bunch of robins down here today. I believe them because they were pretty excited about it. I don't know why a robin would ought to be in Manistee on a day like today. Until January. Well, you'll notice that there's no ice on the river. I have no idea why. It is plenty cold. Seagull.
My God, you're right. 20 by 12.
20 by 12.
Yeah, amazing.
And I didn't know. And this is built by Bill Singh.
It is.
This one here.
It's more than 20 years old, I know. Because
Oh, how many years have Freed been going?
28.
so, yeah, I remember Homer Ramsell in this thing. And he's been gone a long time, hasn't he?
Has
And he found other work.
14, 13, 14.
Yeah, he found other work.
I can't believe it.
Well, we got a bunch of robins. They just came flying in. They're hiding up in the tree. And there's some more. They're not robins.
Yeah, they are.
There might be a mix of them there, Mike, but there's a whole bunch of them that are
Well,
on the ground underneath that tree over there hopping around. That's a robin. I can tell by the way it's hopping.
the one that's down there in the snow.
Right close to it. Yeah, it's right by. Yeah, there's one on the snow. They're picking. Yeah.
Orange breast.
Yeah.
I would say it's a robin.
That's what we said.
Jeez. The truck is back, but I'm gonna go on to other places. Hope you enjoy this little trip downtown. The temperature's about 18 today, the wind blowing. It's quite cold. But the robins are back. Well, I'm looking at Manistee Lake down here by Port Salt. Looks like it's frozen over, but I would say it's probably nowhere near thick enough to walk on. Well, I guess I stand corrected because there is some quite a bit of open water down here by these docks. But my guess is if there's seagulls. Where are they? Right there. My guess is if I came down here tomorrow, this would be all frozen over. Well, it's about 1 o'clock or so. Maybe 2, I don't know, downtown. Not much traffic on this snowy day. I sure like these decorations down here. Oh, look at that. Here's the city's here to take it down. Just as soon as I said something about it, I liked it. But to tell you the truth, I knew he was coming. He's dressed warm, wool pants and all that. That's what you need. Good afternoon. It's a Saturday afternoon, downtown Manistee at the bridge on 31. I was just checking to see if the river is frozen over, and it would appear it is. I think there's some spots out there that are not very thick. I'm not going to be the first person to walk in the river to see if it's safe. We got some new snow last night. It's quite cold, but traffic is going. The city has got the streets plowed. I'm inside House of Flavors looking at a photograph from 1900. I think this is a little better look at the river. You see it's frozen. Very cold out there. You'd die if you fell through because the current would take you under the ice. And you'd like not only freeze to death, but you'd drown. A few minutes ago, the wind was coming off some of the roofs. I just want to show it to you. I'm not going to stay out here very long, but you can see the sidewalk is all cleaned up. I used to be many years ago, a big problem downtown that 3/4 of the merchants would do the sidewalk, and you'd get one merchant that didn't do anything. If there was a business that was out of business, nothing to be done. This is called cat looking backwards. Or looking at me. She's looking at me. Now she's looking backwards again. Cats are so flexible, man. They spin and turn and twist. Well, I hope you're having a good St. Patrick's Day. It's about 10 in the morning. The gray cat is sleeping in the window. The window is really bright. There's a black cat. I'm going to close the curtain. Maybe I can see him better. Well, I closed the curtain and the cats are aiming away from me, so I'm going to have to wait until they roll over because it's not much of a picture with their back. Oh! Fuzzball is going to roll over, part way anyway. I manually rotated Black Cat because he wasn't in any mood to move on him. So Fuzzball is trying to roll over, but she's so lazy that she just doesn't have the energy. Do you? I rolled Fuzzball over, but she's so insistent on staying where she was, she fell off the box. And now she's awake, and she's sitting there. She's not very happy. Hey, pal. No. Black Cat's got Gray Cat's tail in his face. See, a Black Cat's so lazy, he won't get up and move, even though that tail irritates him. They just bite it. Hmm? Well, St. Patrick's Day is pushing noon now. I moved Black Cat onto the quilt, and he sat there for quite a while trying to figure out what to do. He didn't know that all he had to do was just lay down and go to sleep. Well, he finally figured that out. So he's really having a good cat life now. Our cats are probably like your cats. Lazy. Sleep a lot. Sleeps and sleeps and sleeps. Honey Cat, laying in the window. Kind of hard to get him when the outside is right there. Honey Cat, can you look at me at least? Honey Cat? Kitty? Will not look. Oh, there. She's finally looked. Well, that's St. Patrick's Day, about 4:45. With a wee parade. St. Patrick's Day party. Parade at 5 o'clock. I'm now.
Hi, friend. How are you?
Oh, we might have some excitement here or not. I don't know. The parade will start here at Maple. It'll go all the way down. Here, 1 block. You see, some places the crowd is one person thick. I don't know why they don't separate those dogs by like a block. They're going to be making a lot of excuses when they get in a fight and some little kid gets bit.
Don't go. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna stand out here. Look. Nope. I'm gonna stand right here.
Okay, a lot of
Stop.
old buildings down here. I don't know what that one is, or that one. Greenwood Market.
Oh my. Dog fights going on today.
There's a dog up here someplace, and there's two there. That's four. There's a white one down here.
Yeah. See where that white line is? I'm not the only. No, you're not. She thinks yes, that white line. I'll go first. Although don't finish.
Here we go. So excited. Got the Manistee Police. For CFW.
Liv, I think they got candy down here. You gonna come down here with me type stuff?
Yeah.
Can I avoid the water? No.
White vehicle.
Oh, so close.
This white vehicle is very important.
But you can do whatever you want.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a red truck. Very important red truck. And we got some people in green. Both vehicles. Good job.
That dog just looks cuddly. That's why I want to take
Got
stuff
some more people in green. Hi. It's a Ford. I guess it's important for some reason. There's a Chevy. That's an important Chevy there.
Here comes some more.
Well, this is a blast parade, and there's the first down there. 10 minutes, maybe. There's a dog behaving himself. And there's another dog over there. And that's it. I was, I'll tell you the truth, I was impressed.